Well, that feeds into me, Keogh. For me, the biggest thing that changes along with the 3 subs second half is they just begin to move the ball forward really direct, really, really quick. No messing about. Up to and including this. There's one, I think it's gone 2-1 by this point, but there's a point where Elliott's got it on the edge of his own box and he just tries to pump it into a channel for Diaz to get onto it. I don't think anything comes of it, but it was the first time I'd seen a Liverpool player do anything like that at Anfield for ages. And I refuse to believe Elliott's freewheeling here. You know, I got the impression from everything that you saw in that first 15 of the second half, this was instruction. Lads, try line breaking passes, because if you're all compact and good, they're not going to hit you, go the other way. Lads, create second ball situations, because these will doubt themselves in those key moments. And I think that it is 3 changes, and it might be 3 changes to send a message, but I think it's also 3 changes with a change of approach, which was, I actually think, the nearest you've seen to the 2023-24 approach so far this season, in terms of let's just get it up, cause some havoc, win some battles, get some one-on-ones, and then see if we can hurt them.
Definitely. I thought it was coming anyway. I said it earlier on, I didn't worry, I didn't panic, and especially because the manager, I don't think we've had a worse second half than a first half under Slot. Every time we've been a bit underwhelming in the first half, he seems to have sorted it out. But it wasn't just a change in personnel, it was a change in approach. And I said this to my mates at half time, I said, it's not a problem here, we just need to go at them. We're being too nice to them, we're being too overcautious, we're being too patient, and obviously we're being too reserved. We need to up the tempo and throw things at them, because this team can't deal with it. And they did, and that's exactly what they did. And they scored 3 goals. So, I mean, credit to the manager for changing the approach and changing the personnel, because he's got it right again. And you can moan about the first half, but to me, a sign of champions is playing poorly, going 1 down, sorting it out, winning 3-1 and extending your lead to 16 points.
We made the pitch wider straight away. I mean, tactically he does something. I still haven't worked out exactly what it is, but Harvey Elliott doesn't come in and play Soboslai's position.
No, he
plays wide of Salah, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So Salah's tucked in a bit, and then Andy Robertson is the most inverted left back initially. He goes 10 yards to the right of Luis Diaz. I noticed that has happened straight away.
What I think he does, and I must remember to say this on review so I sound clever, but what I think he does is, I think all the way through the season we've talked about how Szoboszlai at times will do a lot of work for Salah and Trent.
Yeah.
He's doing a lot of covering for Salah and Trent. He almost inverts that in this, which is Trent and Salah end up playing Szoboszlai's role in possession, and Elliott just goes really, really wide right. So Salah's almost like a little bit number 10-y. Yeah. Trent then fills the space that Szoboszlai's work going the other way would leave, and does that, and also is then more involved in terms of building the play in the middle as well, and Elliott's just making the pitch absolutely massive. And then Robertson's made the pitch absolutely massive on the other side. So Liverpool are in a situation where effectively the front 5 sort of becomes Robertson one side, Elliott the other, and then you've got Diaz, Nunez and Salah, and that's almost the front 5 from left to right, and that's how they do it. And then suddenly Southampton are just stretched to breaking point, and they just break over and over again. Yeah,
you're right about the Trent thing. He was noticeably much more central, wasn't he? He was more than tucked inside. He was sort of at least level with ahead of Gravenberch and McAllister at times.
Yeah, if it's 2-3-5, Trent's in that 3 on the right hand side.
Yeah,
sort of, and again, that is also a bit of a throwback to previous seasons with the previous manager.
Yeah, I thought playing Elliott as wide as he wasn't always wide, but his starting position that wide really helps. That basically our wing play suddenly looked really, really clever and imaginative, whereas we'd been totally bogged down first half. Yeah. Salah and Trent and Szoboszlai were trying to play triangles first half that was getting nowhere, I think, more or less. Diaz was getting no support from Tsimikas, and I don't think the ball was getting put into him quickly enough by the likes of Jones. But second half, you suddenly saw partnerships all over the field in an attacking sense, but mainly it was a mentality thing. I mean, I know that there's a reason why we like attacking the Kop. You know, they make more noise when they're attacked, the Kop, and it helps lift everyone. But I think the Diaz thing was fascinating. I think he clearly had a look at himself, I don't know, in the dressing room mirror, and went, "Come on, you're a much better player than you showed that half." And he, you know, in the highlights reels, if you look back, he's involved in all our best stuff. It's one of the best assists we'll have had this season, quite frankly, that where he beats 2 men and pulls it back perfectly for the opening goal. And it is a key goal in our season, by the way. Just as we'll see, I mean, Darwin quietly gets key goals, doesn't he, despite all the things he does.
Not that quietly.
No, well, not that quietly, because you don't talk about it. But it had vibes of the opener against Brentford, which was a crucial goal in our season. I think if we want to in a few years' time, replay this season, hopefully we're talking about a title-winning season, we'll go, you know, of the 10 goals, I think that one against Southampton is, and I'm going to say quietly again, quietly a very important goal. That it does. If we don't score at that point and Southampton survive another 10 minutes, then it does get into everyone's heads that they've only got 30 odd minutes to survive, not conceding two. It gets harder.